Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is Senator Rick Jones, a Republican from the 24th District, which represents Eaton, Clinton, Shiawassee, and a portion of Ingham County. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Talking about some proposed legislation of yours that you've been able to pass through the Senate. It's in the House. It's intended to protect our servicemen and women. Why'd you propose it, and why is it so badly needed, and what is it?
4 years ago, a man and woman divorced. The mother got custody of the child, and she then had a boyfriend move in who abused the child. He was convicted, put in jail. She covered it up. She was put in jail. The sailor, the father, came home on emergency leave and got full custody of his daughter. This happened 4 years ago. He's now living in the state of Washington. He is remarried, and this Navy, our Navy, has sent him out in a submarine. He's serving our nation. Back here in Michigan, the biological mom filed a court action. A judge from Lenawee County, Michigan, ordered this sailor into her courtroom with the child within days. Obviously, he couldn't be there. He was serving our country. So then the judge said, well, we'll put out an arrest warrant for him. Outrageous. So my legislation says no serviceman or woman will ever have to fear a custodial change while they're serving our country on the front lines. Now, perhaps if there was imminent danger of the child, then there would have to be an emergency change, but not in this situation. My legislation guarantees no custodial change until the serviceman or woman return, and then it gives them some downtime, some decompression time. They don't have to be in court right off after they step off the plane or the boat.
Well, they may need to have some time to try to hire an attorney, to try to get to the bottom of exactly what is happening, and to travel to wherever they may need to go.
Yes, obviously. This is reasonable. This is common sense. Now, there is a federal act that protects a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine for 3 months. My law will protect them for a year or whatever time they're sent out to serve our country.
And how has this been received in the service community of amongst our Air Force, our Navy, our Army, our Marines?
Huge response of support.
And I would imagine what you have going forward as far as a timeline. You said it's passed the Senate. It's currently in the House. Is it? What do you foresee?
I hope to have it passed the House and signed by the governor before the end of the year. This is too important. Imagine if you're a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine on the front line, worried about your life daily, the life of your comrades in arms, and yet your mind isn't on your duty. Your mind is on back home custody rights, losing custody of your child. We can't allow that. We have to make sure that our men and women serving our country have every possibility that they're going to come back and be happy, not come back to a terrible problem.
It seems to me that perhaps this legislation, which obviously seems necessary, may not have been necessary if some of our folks, our judges, our attorneys, just used some common sense and said, hey, you're going to need to wait for this gentleman to be home before we take this to court.
Doesn't that sound reasonable? But sometimes common sense isn't common.
And so we legislate it, and we hope that everyone hopefully follows suit and follows the law, and we mandate common sense.
You know, sometimes you have to. And that's part of my job as chair of the Senate Judiciary, to make sure that we tweak civil and criminal law to make it fair for everyone, but certainly for our servicemen and women.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Senator Rick Jones.